Europe had miscalculated gravely. They saw Africa as a prize, ripe for the taking. They underestimated the spirit of its people. They did not foresee the storm brewing in the heart of Ethiopia. They did not know Menelik II. This was a king who would rewrite history. The Italians came, seeking to expand their empire. They sought to claim Ethiopia as their own. They came bearing promises, their words dripping with honeyed deceit. But Menelik, the Lion of Judah, was not easily swayed. He saw through their facade. He knew the hunger for conquest that lurked beneath their smiles. He would soon show them the price of their arrogance. He would teach them the meaning of African defiance. The Ethiopian palace stood tall, a beacon of defiance, against the encroaching shadows of colonialism. Its grandeur was not just in its physical structure, but in the spirit it embodied. Its walls, adorned with the stories of past victories, whispered tales of resilience and strength. Each carving, each mural, was a testament to the indomitable will of the Ethiopian people. Within its heart, upon a throne as old as the kingdom itself, sat Menelik II. His presence was a living link to the storied past of his nation. He was a king forged in the fires of tradition, his wisdom honed by years of statecraft. Menelik II was not just a ruler. He was a symbol of Ethiopia's enduring legacy. His eyes, sharp and piercing, held the weight of his ancestors' dreams. They reflected the hopes and aspirations of a nation that refused to be subdued. He was a guardian of his people, a shield against the encroaching storm. Menelik's leadership was a beacon of hope in times of uncertainty. Around him, Ethiopia buzzed with activity. The marketplace was alive with the sounds of commerce, laughter, and the vibrant pulse of daily life. Messengers hurried to and fro, their voices echoing through the high-ceilinged halls. They carried news, orders, and the lifeblood of the kingdom's communication. The air crackled with anticipation, a sense of foreboding mixed with unwavering resolve. Every corner of the palace seemed to hum with the energy of a nation on the brink of destiny. Ethiopia would not yield, not while Menelik drew breath. His determination was a rallying cry, a promise that the spirit of Ethiopia would endure against all odds. The Italians presented the Treaty of Wuchale as a pact of friendship, a seemingly benign agreement that promised mutual benefits. They portrayed it as a bridge between two nations, a symbol of unity and cooperation. During the signing ceremony, diplomats spoke eloquently of cooperation and mutual respect, painting a picture of a harmonious future. But beneath their polished words lay hollow promises, empty assurances that masked their true intentions. The treaty, crafted with cunning and shrouded in deceit, was a weapon disguised as a gesture of peace. The discrepancies between the Italian and Amharic versions were stark. The Italian version of the treaty differed drastically from the Amharic translation presented to Menelik, creating a foundation of mistrust. The Italian text spoke of protectorates and subjugation, hinting at Italian dominance over Ethiopian affairs, a clear attempt to undermine Ethiopian sovereignty. It was a blatant attempt to control, masked by a veil of diplomatic language, a deceptive handshake hiding the true nature of their intentions. For a time, the deception held, the clock ticking as the Italians believed their ruse was successful. The Italians, confident in their manipulation, celebrated their perceived victory, convinced they had secured control over Ethiopia. They believed they had outmaneuvered the Lion of Judah, unaware that their actions had merely awakened a formidable adversary, ready to defend his nation's sovereignty. News of the treachery reached Menelik's ears. The whispers of betrayal echoed through the palace, igniting a fire in the emperor's heart. His fist clenched around the armrests of his throne. His eyes, normally filled with wisdom and patience, blazed with righteous anger. He would not stand for this. He would not allow his people to be shackled by foreign chains. He would not let the legacy of his ancestors be tarnished by Italian ambition. Menelik rose from his throne, his voice echoing through the silent hall. He declared war. He declared his defiance. The Lion of Judah had awakened, and he would not be caged. Section 5. Echoes of Unity. Menelik's call to arms resonated throughout the land. From the bustling marketplaces to the farthest reaches of his kingdom, Ethiopians answered. Farmers traded their plows for spears, their sons marching beside them. Tribes long divided by ancient rivalries set aside their differences, uniting under a single banner. The spirit of resistance surged through the veins of Ethiopia. Women sewed uniforms and prepared food, their hearts heavy with worry but brimming with pride. The elderly offered blessings and words of encouragement, their wrinkled faces etched with the memories of past struggles. Ethiopia would stand as one. They would fight for their freedom. They would fight for their king. Section 6. A Gathering Storm. Menelik was a shrewd strategist, a man of vision and determination. He knew he could not defeat the Italians with sheer numbers alone. The Italian forces were well equipped and trained, posing a formidable challenge. He needed to level the playing field. Menelik gathered his most trusted advisors, poring over maps and battle plans, devising strategies that would outsmart the enemy. He sent emissaries across the sea, seeking alliances and procuring weapons. These diplomatic missions were crucial as they opened doors to new resources and support. From France, he acquired modern rifles, their barrels gleaming with deadly promise. These weapons would give his soldiers a fighting chance against the technologically superior Italians. From Russia, he received artillery pieces, their iron bodies capable of unleashing thunderous volleys. These cannons would be pivotal in the battles to come, providing much-needed firepower. From other African nations, he secured the promise of warriors, their eyes burning with the shared fire of resistance. These warriors brought not just their strength, but also their unyielding spirit. The world watched with bated breath as Menelik prepared for the inevitable clash. Newspapers around the globe reported on his efforts, capturing the attention of international spectators. The once underestimated African king had become a symbol of defiance, a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness of colonialism. His actions inspired not just his people, but also other nations under the threat of imperialism. Section 7. The Calm Before the Storm. A tense anticipation settled over Ethiopia. The air crackled with unspoken anxieties, the weight of the coming conflict heavy on everyone's minds. The streets of the cities were quieter now. The once vibrant marketplaces were subdued, the usual cacophony of bartering replaced by hushed whispers and worried glances. Mothers held their children a little tighter, their eyes filled with a mixture of fear and fierce determination. Soldiers sharpened their blades, their faces grim but resolute. They knew the odds were stacked against them, but they also knew what they were fighting for: their homes, their families, their freedom, and they would fight to the death to protect them. Section 8. The Legacy of the Lion. Menelik II, the Lion of Judah, stood as a bulwark against the tide of colonialism. He was more than just a king. He was a symbol of African resistance, a testament to the power of unity and unwavering resolve. His legacy would live on, inspiring generations to come. He showed the world that Africa was not a continent to be easily conquered. He proved that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage and determination could prevail. His name would forever be etched in the annals of history as the king who outsmarted an empire, the leader who dared to defy the world's greatest powers. Section 9. The Battle on the Horizon. The Italian army approached, their banners fluttering in the wind like ominous shadows. Their ranks were vast, their weapons advanced, They were confident in their victory, blinded by their own arrogance. They did not understand the land they sought to conquer, nor the hearts of the people they sought to subjugate. On the horizon, the sun dipped below the jagged peaks of the Ethiopian highlands, casting long, eerie shadows across the plains. It was the calm before the storm, the silence before the thunder. The fate of Ethiopia, the pride of Africa, hung in the balance. The battle for freedom was about to begin.